What's going on, everybody? It's Tom.
And it's Jamie. Welcome to the Chronicles of Podcast.
The Chronicles of 2000 Trees 2024.
My name is Ewan, I'm in Artio.
My name is Ray, I am also at Artio.
Lovely, an absolute pleasure to have you both. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
How's your personal Friday treating you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not awake yet, because I don't wake up till like noon most days, and we did a set at like 11:30. So
Holy shit.
I'm not quite present, but
Yeah.
we're vibing.
We usually have like the whole day to like mull over gigs and stuff and like psych ourselves up for it.
Yeah.
But when we're on at like 11:30, yeah, we've like just woken up when we get off stage. And we're like, oh, that was great.
Oh, I did a gig there, that was sick,
happy.
yeah.
I think I remember doing that.
Yeah.
It was good. We had a great, good time so far.
Good. Well, morning.
Morning.
Right, so, yeah. How was the set?
Really good, yeah. We're sick. They pitted before noon.
We didn't know mosh pits could happen before midday, but
Yeah,
everyone's like
apparently
up and
so.
ready for it. Yeah, the crowd were great. We've seen a myriad of technical issues throughout this weekend, but we didn't have any. It all went very smooth.
Excellent.
Every stage we watched yesterday, something went wrong, and we were just like, "Oh God, it's an omen."
We didn't know if it was.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we didn't know if it was. We didn't know if it was like following us around because like we've had these issues before, but like everything went so well. The team were great here. Everyone is so lovely. The crowd were great. It couldn't have gone better. It was ace.
I bet when you looked at the time, you're like 11:30. Like fuck. You
I was
know,
like-
on the second day as well,
Yeah.
like people are drinking, that sort of thing.
We were like the nightclub started the night before. Like no one will be there. It's fine.
I was like, on one hand, it's like everyone will be set up in camping and probably on site, because like yesterday I think it'd be tricky if you're on earlier because like a lot of people hadn't even arrived to set up.
Yeah.
So I was like, we might have a good opportunity, and then Ewan was like, yeah mate, but silent disco and that, and I was like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna be hungover and very tired.
Good turnout.
Really good.
Amazing.
Packed, magic, lovely.
That's what we
Job
love
done.
to see. Perfect. We love that. And
What I love about these festivals though is like you're saying, I don't get up till midday normally. Like you have a night out, you ain't getting up till 2 in the afternoon.
No
A
way.
festival, right? Done.
Yeah.
another beer. Let's go.
Exactly, it's great.
I'm
Yeah.
so pints in and I've got my pyjamas on. 10 minutes.
Woo! I'm brushing my teeth with a can of Strongbow. Let's fucking go.
I took one of my antidepressants with a warm Strongbow Dark Frizz Leeds and Ready. It was minging.
The festival life is what we
It
do.
was like overheating in a tent overnight, and you know what? Couldn't have had a better day. So you know what?
incredible. Absolutely incredible. But compared to an RTO show, your festival set list then, do you change it up to like drop the bangers, or is it you just stick to what you know?
We do like, if you're gonna know Artio, you're gonna know these songs. We do the big and second to last in case there's clash and people want to leave and go to another one, and then we end on like a sick ass halftime ending, extended breakdown of another song. We've got live edits in the whole set anyway, so every experience is different to the recording. But yeah, we'll do like the like lead things we're promoting, and then like the bangers that you'll know. So basically like the top 5 on Spotify, and then whatever else is on the album. What's the set list? Done. It's just
The
there.
amount of bands that have said that, it's brilliant.
It's just there. It's perfect access.
Especially when you're on so early as well. You're like, you want to entice people with what they can find quicker as well. So if they're like, these guys are alright, I have no clue who they are, and it's there in front of them ready to go, then yeah. But we think it's like the best portrayal anyway, so it's,
But
yeah.
like our like shows, like we do like support slots or headlines or whatever, we'll have like more deep cuts in there, or like kind of album tracks that aren't singles and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But like for a festival, I think you just got to give them like all killer, no filler in it.
I like it. So, us as a podcast, we are ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you familiar with the Sophie story in the foundation? So, basically, what we're talking to people this weekend, we're trying to find out, have you guys ever been treated differently, had stereotypes put against you, whatever it may be, just because you're part of this alternative family, whether it be the music you listen to, the way you dress, whatever it may be?
Oh yeah, all the time, every day, constantly.
Still now?
Yeah. We exist on TikTok, mate.
There we are.
Literally just every day. But no, it happens a lot, and it's happened for like most of our lives, because we all grew up in like northern cities and towns. Rob grew up in like a small northern town where like everyone was like very like, oh, he's an emo, get away from me kind of stuff. And like I've got like, you get looks when you go places, and I you know what, fuck 'em.
100%.
Yeah.
What about yourself? Has it happened to you?
I mean, it's just like I can say what Ray said. It's just I think it's just the collective like emo experience of like, especially like going up through high school and everything. feeling a bit out on the rim of everything all. But then, like I say, coming to places like this, and like we did Slam Dunk this year as well, it's just, I think it makes it all up for it, and we're just glad to be, with a team and with an audience that kind of get it.
Yeah.
We can take all the barrage of shit. Can I swear? I just did. The barrage, the absolute shitstorm that is social media as well. But yeah, like I say, I know it's full.
Fucking pricks.
But we're making the most of this swear. Making the swear pass out. But like I say, yeah, putting yourself out there, you're always gonna get people thinking that they can say whatever they want about you and put you in a box and do all this. But coming here and doing these shows kind of make up for it all. It's like,
I had a very full circle emo Tumblr moment the other day where I was like, I think my teenage Tumblr is still active. And that's like the most like mental illness I've ever experienced was to do with that platform. So I went on and I was like, oh shit, I'm reposting all the bands I'm on the festival lineups with. And I was reposting Fall Out Boy memes, and I was like, me and Ethan, our TM and Tech, we were like watching all of Walking Dead before we did our last tour, and I was reposting Walking Dead stuff in like 2013. So it's like really full circle now, being like, that was a very sad child. Reposting like Dan and Phil and Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco and 21 Pilots, and it's like now I'm like just doing the music that I was a fan of as a kid. And I like kind of went, that was sick, that. So,
the bullying was worth it.
I'm fine.
But I'm interested in the answer now after this discussion about TikTok. But do you think, like, going back to what happened to Sophie and when we were all growing up, do you think it's easier now for people in the alternative community, or is it still a lot of work to do?
I don't know, because it's easier in a sense that it's more of a mainstream thing and more people are part of that subculture. So there is like safety in numbers, but also there's like so much more stirring of culture wars in like media, online, politics, stuff like that. A lot of the alt community are also queer. A lot of the queer community and alt community are also trans. It's like those Venn diagrams that go into each other, and like there's so much of that culture war going around that I think with having social media such an important part of us like now more than it ever has been, it's easier to exist, but it's also easier for anyone to attack you. And then because they've been shoved whatever media they've consumed at you from a very biased, horrible, nasty source, they can find you and see you within seconds, make an opinion of you, and then tell you with no consequence. So I feel like it is easier and it's also harder, and it just depends on the format that you're like looking through it at. But I think it's still really tricky, and I think there's a lot of work to be done, but I think people do feel a lot safer now as well that it's more commercialized.
Yes.
And like that being emo is like kind of, I hate the word, but like trendy. And like a lot of people like that fashion now, and because a lot of like influencers like have coined that, especially on TikTok in like the 2020s, like early 2020, like it's become a cool thing to be. There's still idiots, there's still like gammons and like yobs, but you know what?
Gammons, I love that
What
word.
they're gonna do? What you gonna do?
They've been here forever and they will be here forever. So.
Unfortunately,
There's been emos and gammons since the dawn of time.
that's a t-shirt.
I want my percentage.
But no, I think you're absolutely right. Social media is that double-edged sword, because it's like, my people, and for the gammons, it's people.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
The gays attack, and it's just like, I just want to post a TikTok.
Yeah, like we wouldn't be doing these things that we're doing without social media and being able to put ourselves out the way that we have been.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that there is a big button on TikTok that says I'm not interested in this.
Yes.
But a lot of people can't seem to find that. But
And also, if you comment on something, the algorithm will show you more of it.
Yep.
So you're like, I hate this, and I'm like, well, sorry, babes, I'm gonna be right back on the next
Yep.
video.
We had it the other day. Someone commented one of our videos on TikTok, being like, "People actually find this funny." I'm like, "Well done, mate. You're going to find more of us now."
Yeah. And then they have their weird echo chamber, like, oh, they're everywhere. And it's like, nah, babe, you've just played into the algorithm. We're not everywhere. We're like 1% of the population. Like,
Thanks for the views, dickhead.
thank you. Until it gets on everyone else's horrible feed, and then it's just a barrage of hate. And you're like, I'm going to turn off the comments.
But bringing it back to you guys, you released your first album back in March now. Are we still riding the high of the release?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really cool. Like we've done like 2 tours since then, and like 2 festivals, and it's been really cool seeing people like singing our album at us,
That's nice.
which is like really nice. because we dropped our like last EP like last year, and then the album was already like waiting in the wings, and I was like, that was so well received, and I really hope the album is like given its justice, and it really was, and it's been really cool. So yeah, it's been wild. Still going. We're cooking up, but we're still very much like the album is there. By the way, listen to it. I'm gonna go to the studio for 9 hours, but like very much still there.
Yeah, we definitely want to make sure that we can play it in full live at some point before the cycle is up. But who knows? Who knows when that might be?
Wink.
Oh, we love a tease. Guys, thank you so much. It means the absolutely well taking time out of Citrus to do. We've had a great time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
So nice to meet you. You too.
Thank you.
My name is Theo.
My name is Ethan.
We're from a band called King Nun, and we just played a show at 2000 Trees Festival.
Amazing, love it. What a lovely little introduction that was.
That was more coherent than I've been all day.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from here. Yeah.
Absolute pleasure to have you both on. So thank you so much for joining us. Massively appreciate it. How's your personal Fridays treating you?
Personal Fridays. It's private.
Yeah. Why are you asking me that?
Yeah, I mean,
Chilling, relaxing, playing a gig.
like the show was really good. I think it was really enjoyable for us, and a bunch of people who have seen it told us that they enjoyed it as well. So it seems like good times all around, and that's what it's about. Really, it's going well.
Absolutely. What time were you on?
12:30, I believe.
Okay, so it's not too early.
It was I think because we got here about like 10 o'clock, and then we waited around for a bit, and then then we came on at 12:30. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. So that went well, and now we're good. We're happy.
No, fantastic. I mean, when you look at times like that, though, do you think second day in or third day in, technically, people might be hungover, hanging out their ass, that sort of thing, because they're not going to show that. But I think with Trees, no matter how fucked or how like hungover someone is, they still turn up.
That's great.
Which I think's amazing.
I think out of like probably all festivals I've been to, I think like there's like a really, really wholesome community here. I think I haven't seen anyone acting like a dickhead. It's like everyone just seems super happy, and I think it's a really great festival for rock music. So
yeah.
I completely agree. The vibe is really cool. It's really chill. It seems like the kind of environment where it would be easy to deal with a hangover. Where there's a bunch of UK festivals where you get the feeling that you would wake up and just kind of drag yourself through the detritus. But that's why we love them.
No, you make a very good point, to be fair. But to a King Nun show, to a King Nun festival set, do you change your set list up accordingly if like people aren't so familiar with yourselves, maybe?
I think with this one we were like, let's just play the heavy ones. I think we were pretty keen to make it fun, make it exciting, make it energetic, because the changeovers are so quick. And I guess you want to grab people's attention, and you want to make sure that everyone's enjoying themselves. And I find that the energetic, heavier songs, I guess, are maybe a slightly easier way to do that. And I always think they're really fun to play as well.
Yeah, for sure. There's a degree of elasticity in all of the songs as well, I think. So it's kind of, you can do a little bit of that actually on stage, where you can kind of mess around with the intensity of each song. So it's like, so you can kind of make it unique in its own way on the go, as it were. And it was definitely, and we played, it was a crowd that clearly wanted to hear heavy music, so it was picked right from the get-go, and then we just played them fucking heavy, dude.
That was honestly, I think, one of my favourite shows that we've done. I really loved that show. It was really fucking cool.
I think that's a testament to this place as well, because the amount of times we hear bands say that, like, 2000 Trees is easily the best set I've ever done. Like, the crowd was phenomenal. Do you know something special about this place, I think?
Yeah.
You know what's worth mentioning as well? The stage hands were amazing. They were so helpful. Like, it's like, because we do a little bit of running around and that kind of thing, and they were moving our pedal boards and organising our leads, and they were gone by the time we'd get back. That's really worth mentioning, because that show would have been a lot more rough around their edges if it wasn't for them. So it seems like the stage people working on the crew. Seriously, when I got off stage, I ran around shaking their hands. I was just like, because when you climbed up to the top of the column, they went and grabbed your stuff and moved it around and made sure, and they would have been invisible to the audience. But I think that's just so cool. A testament to the festival. Big up the stage people. They're amazing.
So, as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the foundation and
I
Sophie's
have not.
story?
What's it about?
So basically, back in 2007, Sophie and her boyfriend were walking home after a night out, walking for a park. Gang of 5 kids basically beat them to the point that Sophie never woke up from a coma and lost her life.
Christ.
Her boyfriend fortunately did survive, but his life's never been the same since. And that was simply because they were goths. No other rhyme or reason, simply the way they were dressed. These kids weren't having it. So what we're talking to people here now, trying to find out if you've ever experienced something like that, been treated differently because you're part of this alternative community. Is this something you've ever experienced in your life?
You've got quite good stories about that. Not me.
I'll take it. I had a funny, well, not funny experience, an interesting experience. When I was a lot younger, I used to dress in very sort of outlandish, colourful clothes. And I remember I got a McDonald's thrown at me from a van. And I got called a bunch of like really horrible slurs. But it was kind of funny because they threw an uneaten McDonald's at me and it hit me and landed on the floor and they were at a red light. So I just stood next to their window.
Oh, you fucking hero!
And then, I think unfortunately, I think people are quite intimidated by alternative culture, things like punk rock. It's obviously it's anti-establishment by nature. I don't know if that's pretentious to say, but I think a lot of people are really intimidated by that. And I think when people see someone who's so willing to confidently express who they are and not really give a fuck about what people think, I think for like a lot of people that's such a hard thing to comprehend. And I think that's where you get a lot of the clash, and I think that's where a lot of that fear and that aggression comes from. When in reality, these kids with colourful hair and piercings and tattoos doing whatever, they're just trying to be happy and they're just trying to be themselves and live their lives.
Absolutely. Like, the amount of people that seem to have this, like, this assumption that, oh, you worship the devil and you're angry and you fight everyone. I'm like, no, not really. I just like listening to music, mate. I'm too lazy.
I like lying in bed and playing loud music. And
But well, self-expression is the most beautiful thing we have, if you ask me. It's the closest thing you could possibly have to God if you are an atheist, I would say.
Absolutely.
Make the world around you a bit more colourful, express yourself, put what's happening inside, outside. What's more beautiful than that, really?
I like that.
You know what I mean?
It's beautiful. Get that on a t-shirt. I like that. Self-expression is the closest thing to God. Oh.
It probably is. And if you think about it, there's a case to be made that that's what God was in the first place, if you think about it. I like that kind of stuff. Don't get me started.
We'll move on. No. But the other thing we're asking as well is, like, obviously when you guys were growing up, when we were growing up, what happened to Sophie? Now we're in 2024. Do you think the world's got easier for people in the alternative community, or still a lot of work to do?
I think there's a lot of work to do, but I would say that the alternative community has just gotten stronger and stronger, and I think there's so many more niches within that where everyone is looking out for each other. And I think we're at a time in the world where I think it's slowly getting there, where people can just be who they want to be. But there's always going to be people trying to shut that shit down. But I guess that conflict then also spurs art and creates art, and it inspires people to try and have a voice. So I guess that conflict in one sense is also important because it gives people reason to want to be themselves.
Absolutely,
it's true. Be unafraid and don't be a twat.
Yeah. So, taking it back to you guys, your album came out in September last year now.
Yeah.
Is there new music on the way? We're still riding the high of that record.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on it. We are definitely working on it. That's about all I can say there. I don't want to bore you with concepts that aren't finished yet, but yeah, it's
rock opera.
It's a rock opera. I've heard that the rock opera will be making a comeback because you know TikTok music is all this sort of like everything's written. It's a bit like the 50s where radio time was, everyone had a short attention span then because the radio just came out, whatever. And it was like, so TikTok's like this again, where all these songs are ultra compressed and it's chorus, verse, chorus out. I've heard that there's like a kickback happening against that, and maybe in a year we're gonna have these like 10-minute epics. we're gonna be back in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Put this on TikTok, you fuckers.
Yeah, exactly. But that will be like when the next generation come up and start doing their version of rock. It's not going to be punch short and punchy. It's always going to be like these long things, and I'm all for it, to be honest. That's hilarious.
Kids will start dressing in petticoats and wearing big ballroom dresses.
Yeah, and that's why the next one will be called to the outer sphere.
Incredible. Guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for taking time out to chat to us there.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, mate.
so much.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks,
Bye.
mate. And you.
Yes, so my name's Jack. I play in a band called Lovebreakers.
I'm Christian and I play bass in Lovebreakers.
The skyline,
Can you elaborate? What exactly is the Sl0tface sausage?
So the Sl0tface sausage is a cafe in a place called Sl0tface.
Okay.
And Sl0tface is a very kind of university student area.
Okay.
And when I went to university, I needed a job. So the Sl0tface sausage stood out to me. I had the interview, and because I previously worked in kitchens when I was like leading up to uni, I went in the kitchen there and I was like making crap food and giving it all the students. Yeah.
I was just curious. We weren't recording when you first started talking about
Microwave
it.
sausages in that.
Good breakfast though, to be fair.
Yeah, they did, man. They did. That was when I was there.
Absolute pleasure to have you both on here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Especially so late as well in the day. So I'm sure you want to get the beers on and whatnot and everything else.
Mate. Yeah, I'm ready.
Wonderful. Perfect. So how's your personal Friday treating you?
Absolutely quality. Like the weather's mint. The people are great. We've had like a good walk round. Everyone's on a good level. And yeah, we've just come off stage and we feel buzzing. Like the reception was quality. And yeah, it's the kind of festival that we need to kind of be playing. So yeah, man, it was great. Great day. Yeah.
Christian?
Yeah, like really good vibes, man. Just when the sun's out, it makes everyone feel a little bit
Yeah.
better. So uber positive, and yeah, we've been trying so hard for years to play here, haven't we? And we've never had the opportunity. So doing it today was really cool, really fun.
How was the set?
Yeah, it was fun.
It's like we chucked in like a few new songs in there.
Okay.
And we learnt a cover as well. We played Born to Run by Springsteen, by the Boss. I know, we chucked it out, man. Yeah. So we've been rehearsing that, and that went down really well. And yeah, it's been really, really cool. So I want to thank Mr. Trees for getting us on. And yeah, we hope to be back.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Trees.
Thank you, Mr.
Legend.
Trees.
So, compared to a Lovebreakers show to a festival set, do you change your set list accordingly to, like, if people aren't so familiar with yourself, say that you want to put more bangers in, like you said you did a cover of Born to Run, that sort of thing, like just to draw more people in?
Yeah, that's it. Like, I think at festivals you've got to kind of like win people over a little bit. Obviously there's a lot of people there who don't know who you are, and I think like sometimes it's nice to get something in there that people are familiar with, so they can go, oh, like I'll give these guys another like 10 minutes of my time, and then you can get in like your own songs, and it's just something that we've always done to get people's attention who don't know who we are, you know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Amazing. But how did the cover go down? I got to ask.
Oh, it's wicked. Yeah, there's loads of people who know that song, and it's a bit like Springsteen's a bit Marmite, isn't he? Like, people love him or hate him, but like we love him, and you know, he's a legend, and we just thought we'd smash a really well-known song out, and yeah, man, I think we did it well.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I was trying to remember the lyrics all the way through. I was like, it's good.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was really fun. Yeah, we usually, in terms of like club shows and then festival sets, yeah, you have to sort of, like Jack said, you have to mix it up. Like when we do like headline shows, we can chuck a ballad in there from the record, whereas like festival, no one wants to hear a ballad. People just want to have a dance and a good time. So yeah, just wall to wall, hopefully bangers, isn't it? So
yeah. Amazing. So us as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
Okay.
Are you aware of Sophie and her story and what happened there?
I'm not personally, so tell me. I'd like to know.
So basically, back in 2007, Sophie was walking through a park after a night out with her boyfriend, and they basically were attacked by 5 kids.
Okay.
And Sophie never came out of the coma. She lost her life.
Oh, dear.
Her boyfriend Rob did come round, but his life's never been the same since.
Mm-hmm.
And this all happened because they were goths. That's literally it. No other rhyme or reason. They didn't know these people. It was literally that. They were just walking through a park and they didn't like the way they dressed. So all we're doing today is, because obviously this is a big alternative family we got here at 2000 Trees.
Yeah.
So we're just asking people if you've ever experienced that, being treated differently, or having stereotypes put upon you, just simply because of the music you're listening to, or the way you're dressed, anything like that at all.
Yeah, a little bit. Like when more so when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think in our age now, I think, you know, it's a lot more. It's cooler to be, you know, an individual, and you know, I don't think you're judged as much now on the way you dress and stuff. And I think that's a really good thing. I think, like, you know, 10, 20 years ago, you could look different and could be like bullied and all that kind of stuff. And I had long hair and stretchers and like tattoos and stuff, and people were like, you know, who's this fucking guy? Like, what does he listen to? And I was like, actually listen to really good music. You should try it. Instead of listening to like Kid Cudi and fucking shit acts like that. Sorry, Kid Cudi, but yeah. But you know what I mean? It's like I think we do like, I think we're quite lucky now, because I think like we have kind of grown up as a nation in terms of like individuality, and I think that's a really strong thing.
Also, I've got something to say. What pisses me off is those fuckers are now wearing the Vans and the Converse. Those chavs who were bullying us at school, you know what I mean? They were wearing Vans and that now. I'm like, I was wearing Converse at school, and I was getting told I was wearing clown shoes. Now they were wearing them. That pisses me off. But yeah, Jack's right. Like, the world's changed, and at least I think it has. Like, I think people are a bit more open-minded these days. But yeah, back, you know, yeah, maybe like 2000s and the 90s, it was a little bit different. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That is another thing where you sort of answered my question for me, really. But the question was like, do you think that, you know, it's easier now to be part of this alternative world?
Yeah, because I think social media's helped. Like, I'm not a massive fan of social media, but I think it's helped in that way in terms of opening people's like minds to, you know, people that are different. And like obviously doing festivals like this who support people who are different, it's fantastic, you know what I mean? And I think, like, as I said, I think times have really like sort of cracked on now in terms of, you know, being who you want to be, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Absolutely is. And like, it's crazy, like, what you said a minute ago. Like, we've heard that from some other people today. They're like, you bullied us for liking this, and now you like it. Yeah. Like, why? Give it back.
But we welcome everyone with open arms. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
So that's the whole point of festivals like this and the alternative music scene, whether it be metal, punk rock, indie. Like, it's all about unity and like community, especially in like the punk world. Like the music we grew up listening to, like early Green Day and stuff, like, so that all taught us about, like, you know, starting out at small shows, putting shows on yourself, looking after everyone in there. It didn't matter who you were, you just come to have a good time and feel safe. So yeah, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And bringing it back to yourselves, obviously in March you released the album Wonder. Are we still riding high on the record? How was it received?
Yeah, man, it's gone really well. Like, we go to Europe quite a bit when the opportunities come, and it's gone really well, like down really well out there. Like all the vinyls are nearly kind of sold out on it as well. So there'll be like a new bunch of vinyl coming out for that. Might be like some different colours, some cool designs and stuff. So that's quite exciting for us. And then yeah, we're just kind of at the moment we're kind of pitching for more tours and stuff towards the end of the year, and like writing new music, and yeah, it's exciting times, man.
Amazing. It did make me laugh. I was looking on your Spotify and it was like, you released the album in March, and then in May you released a single, Skyline, which isn't on the album. You're like, fuck it, I'm not waiting, I want to put new music out now.
Yeah. It's like, to be fair, we're a productive band. Like, we've been writing, you know, we've got like nearly half of an album done again. So like that needs to be like, you know, recorded, and we'll see how we want to kind of release it and all that kind of stuff. But we've always, you know, the train's got to keep going and never stop, and we still love doing what we're doing. So, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Wonderful. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk.
Thank you for having us. It's great. Legends, lads. All good, man.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to meet you.
Thanks for reaching out.
Appreciate it.
Nice one.
Thank you very much for your weekend.
My name is Haley, and I have a band called Sl0tface.
Incredible, amazing name, by the way.
Thank
Absolutely super. When it had the O in, I was like, is that slot or is that what I think it is?
Yeah, because at first it was spelled with a U, and we never had any trouble in Norway, where we're from.
Okay.
But then as soon as we tried to go like outside of Norway, we just ran into all kinds of issues with like censorship, and like we couldn't advertise for anything. So then we thought that was like a cheeky way of keeping the name, but tricking people into thinking
Genius.
They should play it on radio.
It's definitely slot. All right.
It is. It is.
Definitely slot. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Eye roll and all that.
Dirty.
Yeah.
At all.
Perfect. Well, how was your Friday treating you?
Oh, so good. We had such a fun time at our set this morning.
Yeah.
So we were like unsure if people would turn up for a noon slot at a festival. But yeah, we had like, the crowd showed us so much love, and it was so fun to watch everybody like trickle in after the first couple songs. We had a great time. Yeah.
I think the beautiful thing about Trees is that no matter how early you're on, people will always show up.
Yeah.
And no matter how hungover they are, how tired they are, people will always come and say it. It's incredible.
It's so lovely. Like the community and the like appreciation people have for music, and the fact that they're mostly here to see bands that they love instead of like some festivals you go to. It's like you can tell that maybe 20% are there to see bands and 80% are there to like get drunk with their friends.
Yeah.
So, which like fair play to that, but it's really nice that people here seem to be here for the music.
Yeah, this is incredible. How was the set?
It was so fun. Yeah, we played Trees in 2018 for our first time, so that's been 6 years. And it was so nice to be back. It is such a good festival and like such a good lineup, really good organizers. So it was a pleasure to be back.
It's a pleasure to have you back as well. It just goes from strength to strength every year. But compared to a Sl0tface show, compared to a festival show, do you change your set list up accordingly? So it's like, if people aren't so familiar with yourself, say, that you might try all the bangers instead and maybe drop something out for how a normal show?
Yeah, we, especially for this week of shows, we did like 3 kind of warm-up shows before this set. So we were playing the same festival set at club shows earlier this week and trying to like fine-tune it for that. So trying to like make it even more immediate. And we've been a band now for 12 years, so condensing it down to a 30-minute set is kind of hard at this point. So we just tried to pick like our favorites from each record and still play a lot of new stuff for people, for our sake. It's basically, we play the new stuff for our sake, kind of. Yeah.
We haven't played this one 600 times before. We'll do that one to refresh it.
I love to play the old ones too, but it's just a different thing to like when you're still kind of working out how you want to do it every time with the new songs. So it keeps it fresh.
So us as a podcast, we are ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
Yeah.
I was going to say, are you aware of the story?
I am aware of the story. Well, I was made aware of the story when I was doing research about you guys. So, yeah.
So basically what we're doing, we're talking to people here this weekend, basically find out if you've ever been treated differently, had stereotypes put upon you, simply because you're in this alternative family, as we like to call it.
Yeah, I think especially when I was a teenager and maybe was like a little bit more outgoing in the way I dressed, I definitely felt like, you could get like bullied a little at school and stuff for wanting to express yourself in that way. So I can definitely relate to that. And it's so, it's really sad to think that like anybody that stands out is still like a target for bad things to happen to them. 'Cause to me, the way you dress or, the music you listen to and the way that you express that is such a beautiful part of like how we're all different and how, like you can like bond with somebody over maybe them like relating to the same scene that you're a part of, and like clothes and piercings and stuff like that are really good signifiers for that. So to me, I feel very safe in that community, and that's kind of like where I feel most at home. So I really appreciate it when people like feel comfortable enough to be themselves in all kinds of different ways with like, the alternative scene. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's what's so special about festivals like this is people it's like a safe space. You can go, I should be myself this weekend.
Exactly. And if you have like, I think especially like for me, because I am a little bit older now, and I don't like dress super alternative day to day necessarily, and haven't done that since I was a teenager, because that's not necessarily like a super important part of how I express myself. But I think like coming here is just like really freeing, and you can like feel really safe. And I remember like when Sl0tface first started playing shows, like Norway has a really big metal community with like like there are some signifiers that go with like that genre. And I remember when I was very young being like kind of scared and like thinking that people looked scary, and then very quickly learning that they're like the nicest people ever. And like guys with like upside down crosses tattooed on their forehead are the ones that will pick you up in the mosh pit first. So that is like makes me feel really safe now. Yeah.
I was quite interested to find out, because you're saying you're from Norway. Also, there's a big metal community in Norway.
Yeah.
So it's quite shocking to hear that it still happens to people in Norway as well.
Yeah, I think definitely like you're still, especially maybe if you come from like a smaller place in Norway, like you'll be like the one person that kind of stands out. So I think that I hope, you know, our world in all kinds of ways moves towards like it being more okay to be yourself, whatever that entails, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think it's really important that like things like this exist for us to have each other's back and like be supportive. And you know, and like when I see somebody that's wearing a t-shirt with a band that I love, I always go say like, oh, I love that band too, and that is a really good feeling. Yeah.
Absolutely. But looking back, like when it happened to Sophie and when you were growing up, do you think like now in 2024 it's got easier for people in the alternative community, or is it still a lot of work to do?
I hope it's gotten easier. I think that one thing that I really like I've done a lot of work with with teenagers and run like rock band camps especially for women and like gender minorities in Norway. And what I see with them for teenagers is that like through TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, they're like exposed to a lot more different styles of like alternative music and alternative dress. And I think maybe that makes them feel safer that they have a community somewhere, even if you don't have it, like especially if you're from a smaller place, like even if you don't see it around you, you know that it's out there.
Yeah.
So I hope that that helps for people that like feel unsure about whether or not like they can be their true selves. I like to think that that maybe helps, but I don't know at this point, you know, like I'm not the target, you know.
I think that is a thing as well. Like we're all grown up, so it's like we just crack on with life. Feel like you don't really pay attention to what's happening with
Exactly.
the youth nowadays.
And I don't know what it's like to be like goth and be 13 now, or like emo and 13 now. I know what it was like when I was 13. And you could definitely get like bullied or made fun of and stuff for that. But yeah, I hope that it's easier is my only,
Absolutely. So you released your last single back in June, Ladies of the Fight.
Yeah.
How has that been received?
Really well so far. We kind of released it in June because we were really excited to play it at festivals, because it's kind of like our starting point was for our guitarist Tobias, who wrote the song, to try to be like, what would the riff sound like if it was like a Warped Tour riff? So we were really excited to play it at festivals this summer. So it's been really fun so far. Yeah.
And how has it gone down?
Pretty well, I would say. We open with it because it's like one of our newer songs, and we feel like it's a good like start it off with a bang. But people haven't always had a chance to like get themselves collected. But it's been really fun for us.
And before we let you go, you recently toured with Kids in Glass Houses. How was that?
Super fun. They were so lovely to us. We wish we could have caught their set here yesterday. It looked like it was really good. But they were, really nice of them to have us along. We loved it. Yeah.
Incredible. Well, thank you for taking time to chat to us
thank
today.
you both.
It really means the world.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck. This is such a nice podcast.
Thank you so much.
Good values. I really appreciate you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, my name's Johnny and I sing for Pet Needs.
My name's Jules and I play drums in Pet Needs.
Perfect. An absolute pleasure to have you both. Thank you so much for joining us. How's your personal Fridays treating you?
Yeah, man. So good. I'm loving it.
Yeah?
Yeah, over the moon.
Beautiful.
That's all I got for you.
Okay.
I'm the drummer. I don't talk much.
Oh, okay, man.
This man was out till closing at the Silent Disco last night as well.
Shit.
So he hasn't got too many words today.
Oh, bless you,
I mean,
dude.
I've definitely been in a better place, but mentally I'm in a really good place right now, so it's fine.
You keeping us awake singing last night.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Parade just all night. Yeah.
Is that psychosocial for the fifth time? Fuck's sake. Love it. How was the set?
It was amazing. So we've done 3 sets so far.
Holy shit!
We've done our main set, our main full band set on the Wednesday over the forest
saw that.
stage,
Yeah.
Which was just nuts. We didn't know it was going to be that busy because they were opening the day especially for those 2 stages.
Yeah.
We were on at 4:00, so we were like, right, we'll prepare for like maybe 100 people, but we'll see what happens. And it just packed out. It rammed out, and it went nuts, and it was so much fun, and it just made us feel like we're home. You know, we love this festival so much. And then we've been doing midnight sets in the campsites as well. It's been really cool. We did an acoustic set last night, and we had an acoustic wall of death about 1 in the morning.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh my god! Please explain.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible. It is like a wall of death to what is usually a really heavy riff that nobody could hear because it was all on acoustic. but it was great. It was so much. They're just so loose, those sets. That they're just so much fun. So yeah, it's been great. It's been so much fun.
That's incredible. So what made you want to do an acoustic? So were you asked to do all this, or was it just we're just gonna go into this campsite and start playing?
So we're asked to do it. So they have stages set up in the campsites. They have a Camp Turner and they have a Camp Rabbit, which after like Fright and Rabbit, and they're just tiny little bits of stage. You're not amplified at all or anything like that. And they actually bill it, and it's a mixture between artists that are playing on the other stages, and then just people that come into the festival as well. So you might see like the other day we played straight after Dave McPherson from Indie, who was great, and then straight after him was someone that's just at the festival, just got a guitar and just started singing covers.
Way.
And it's so cool, it's so punk, it's so communal, and it's great.
That is sick. So compared to a Pet Needs show then, to a festival show, do you change up the set list accordingly if people aren't so familiar with yourselves, say?
Definitely. So like at a headline show, we take people on a little bit more of a journey. So there might be I might pick up the acoustic guitar and stuff like that. But at one of these shows, because we had 35 minutes as well, we just want to do wall-to-wall bangers really. And it's all about just kind of, I think when you're doing a festival, you're putting yourself in the shop window. And so it's about taking people on that journey and getting people engaged in your songs, but also kind of engaged in your story as well. And it's been great, and it's been so nice to do that set so early on, and then been hanging out with so many people that were there. It's just been great. It's just been so much fun. And do you know what? Like, I think 30 minutes, 35 minutes for a festival or for a support slot is just so perfect because you're just in. Yeah, it's just half-hour power, right? It's just so nuts. So excited. Yeah.
That's amazing. But us as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, sure.
So what we're asking people while we're here this weekend is, have you guys ever been treated differently or had stereotypes put upon you simply because of the music you listen to, the way you dress, being part of this alternative family? Is this something you've experienced?
Yeah, so Actually, I'll pass it. You take this on first.
Exhibit A.
So like I was the first person in my family to have tattoos in my whole family.
Oh, wow, okay.
First person to like dye my hair, all of this kind of stuff, and just dress how I want to dress. And like I didn't like grow up with money, but I had friends that went to private school and stuff. And so I'd go over there and they'd all be like, oh, you can't stay here, like you're not allowed to be around us because you dress differently and you listen to different music. And it was like, I was like, what in what world does that make any sense? You know, like literally stuff like that is mental. Or like, you know, you go on a night out and someone sees you got pink hair and then you get all kinds of abuse shouted at you and you're just like, where's all this energy coming from? Like, just men being men. Men are a bit gross when you think about it in that sense, but like, you know, it is what it is. We power through, really.
I used to live in a kind of a squat type place in Nottingham, in Hyson Green, with loads of other kind of like ratty little punks. And we were the only people on our street that kind of looked like, I used to have like half red, half black hair, kind of proper emo kind of vibes, like heavy eyeliner kind of vibe. Like, it's especially in Hyson Green in Nottingham, it's quite a kind of like rough area. It's a gun capital of the UK as well.
It is.
And aside from the place we lived getting robbed 3 times, once when I was in there as well, we used to get like spat at and have things thrown at us and stuff. And it's horrible. It's so mad, just for like for the way you dress, the way you are, the way that you choose to be, which is so nice. I mean, we're both kind of obviously really lucky that we're like straight white men and all that kind of stuff, so we come with all that kind of privilege. Obviously, like we're talking about Sophie, like she's female as well and stuff, and it's like it's completely like insane what happened, but amazing that such good work can be done kind of like in her honour as well. So we're very, very aware of our own privilege. But then also have had shit happen as well.
That's awful. It's like I don't understand the mentality. It's like you're just living your life. You're not doing anything. And it's never like people in the alternative world starting it. Like we didn't go out there and go, we're different, fuck you. Like we're just living life.
Yeah.
It baffles me.
Yeah.
It really does.
A lot of it, I think, comes from a place of insecurity, not from like the alternative scene, but from people looking at the alternative scene. It's kind of like they look at us and go, they're comfortable to express how they want to express. Yeah. And everyone in the alternative scene is comfortable with them doing that. We're too insecure to do that, so we're just going to shout abuse at you. Why?
Yeah.
As I'm getting older as well, there's things about the modern world that confuse me sometimes. Kind of like you told me the other day about Jules is like about 10 years younger than me and really into his fashion. And he told me the other day about something called dadcore, where it's just young people just dressing as dads, basically. Like, and that's the new fashion. Confuses me, but doesn't hurt me, so who cares? That's the same with like gender, sexuality, like pronouns, any kind of identity thing. Like, just to let everyone just be who they are. Exactly. That's the thing. If they want to dress like a dad, that's fine. I mean, I'm trying for a kid at the moment, so I might be living the dadcore soon. Like, yeah.
I am a dad. I'm wondering what.
There you go, full on dadcore. Here we go. Well, you're high in fashion at the moment among like 17-year-olds.
But looking back at like when you guys were growing up and when it happened to Sophie Mona, and then looking at 2024, do you think it's got easier for people in this community?
So I used to work. Little bubble. I used to work at university at Students' Union, which was really nice because I was working in a place that was really progressive, and like there was loads of different societies of people. So you could get like there was like the rock and metal society, the LGBTQ plus society, and all that, where people could find their people. And I think that. On the whole, I think some things are getting more progressive, which is nice. But then we look at the election. We've got a Labour government now, which is cool. But then you look at the amount of people that like voted Reform, like we live in Colchester in Essex. We've got our first Labour MP for decades, which is amazing. We've got a female MP, Labour MP, who has studied she used to lecture at the university I worked at. She's amazing. She's so smart. She's so great. That's amazing. We're 15 miles from Clacton as well, and we've got Nigel Farage. Who's their elected MP now. So I think on the whole it looks like things are broadly getting more progressive, or at least trying, but I think that that's also pushing pockets of people that do think hateful stuff to start to find each other, and that's starting to become more mainstream as well. I'm worried now that I think the Tories are going to swing further right to try and get those Reform voters back. So I think there's things like you look at things like kind of gender neutral toilets and stuff and all that kind of stuff. I think people are putting things in place to try and make people feel safer, but I think that people just need to be just more accepting in general as well.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. And the trans thing is a massive thing at the moment, and again, just let people live their lives.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
Not hurting anyone.
That's exactly it. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't, and I think the more that I kind of basically you just don't have to understand what everyone else's mind. It doesn't matter. Matter. Like there's lots of things. Like my wife works in like mental health support at the uni, and she had a seminar the other day where they were having to learn it's about kind of like 100 different pronouns now or something. And to me, I don't know 100 pronouns.
Nope.
But if I meet someone and they go, "Can you refer to me as Z?" Yeah, of course. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect my life in any way. And if it makes you feel more comfortable, then of course we're going to do it. And people that get upset about other people's identity, I just don't understand it. I don't understand. But then again, say we're coming from straight white male perspective and all that kind of stuff. Got to be aware of our own privilege. And I'm sure that things are kind of layered, and it must be so hard. Just kind of existing in a world where you feel, even if you just think one person doesn't accept you for you are where you are, it's nuts. It's nuts. Which is why places like this are amazing. Because there's so many people walking around, people from all different backgrounds, all different lifestyles, all different genders, all different sexualities, and everyone just accepts each other, and that's amazing. That's why places like this are so important.
Absolutely.
This should be a blueprint for the world, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to refer to these festivals as a safe haven.
Yeah.
Because they are for everyone. Just come and be yourself. But bringing it back to you guys, you released your album Intermittent Fast Living back in February.
Yeah.
Are we still riding the high of that?
Yeah, I'm still kind of in disbelief of what happened, because it was a top 20 album, in the official charts as well, not even just in the indie charts or the punk charts. It went Taylor Swift, Pet Needs, Olivia Rodriguez, which is so nuts. It was still can't believe that at all. And then when that happened, Kerrang Radio started picking us up, and Radio X had given us a bit of support before, but started really pushing it. BBC have been playing it. Spotify started putting us on playlists and everything, which is really nice. So suddenly, as a result of it, there's loads more eyes on, and then that translated into gig sales as well. So before we were playing 200 Kappas in London, suddenly we were playing the Underworld, and that packed out and stuff. And it's just And what's been really interesting is most bands, and our journey's been as well, is that everyone like prefers the older stuff, or at least more attached to the older stuff, because that's the stuff that they've like just know more. We're now playing to audiences where the audience has doubled in size, but like half the audience are like, oh yeah, this is the stuff off your first album, and then the other half don't know the first album yet. And like they only know the new album, they only know the one that charted, which is really interesting. But that's so cool, because as a band you're always most excited about your new stuff. Absolutely. And to have loads of people that are with us on that is really exciting as well.
That's incredible. Do you know what it was that just hit to get you to there?
Yeah, a massive campaign. So basically, we aimed to get it into the top 40. We were looking at the numbers. You had to sell thousands even to get into the top 40. But you can release different versions of the album, like with different covers and stuff, and every single one that's bought counts as a sale. And then we looked at the kind of Top of the Pops logos and found out there's 12 Top of the Pops logos throughout history, and we changed all of them. Our graphic designer Vanessa spent weeks doing this, so that they all said Bottom of the Pops instead, and we did a campaign to get into the Bottom of the Pops. And our label, it was so good. It was so good. And we did 12 different CDs, so you could buy them as a bundle of 12 CDs to try and get into the bottom. No, it didn't work. We massively overachieved. We got into. Now we sell T-shirts as well that say Mid of the Pops. They're on. You can buy them over at the merch. The Petney's Mid of the Pops T-shirts.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible, gents. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for taking time to chat with us.
I like
really
getting deep as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really appreciate
it's good to reflect with you.
Cheers.
Loads of love.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one. Cheers.
Hello, I am John. I am the vocalist of the 900.
I'm Lewis. I'm the bassist.
And I am Sam, the guitarist.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today. So how's your personal Friday treating you all?
Feeling a bit fragile today. Went a bit hard yesterday, and after the set on Wednesday. So gonna be an easy morning this morning.
It must be quite a nice thing to have played so fucking early though. So I know you headlined on Wednesday night, but you've now got the entire weekend to just enjoy yourselves. Yeah, definitely different from last year, where I think we did the Friday last year, and we got way too fucked up the day before, and it was a struggle to do the set, but we got through it.
It was we got in on the Thursday last year, and it ended up being so that the drummer was napping through the entire Friday in his car before our set.
No way.
Yeah. Missed a whole lot of bands, but he said, it was a great day. Yeah.
Worth it though, because I can imagine drumming, hungover and tired can't be fun.
No, I reckon it isn't. But he did a smashing job as always. No matter the hangover, he's a machine. Can't be stopped.
Absolute Trojan.
Oh yeah. Best drummer in the world, Harry Shaw, the Colonel.
Shout out. Love it. Absolutely love it. How was Wednesday night?
Yeah, really good, man. We were getting a bit worried when we saw the football tent and how full up it was.
Yeah.
Because we watched the first half. So we're getting really worried. But whilst we were sound checking, people started coming in, ended up being full, and went really, really well.
Yeah, as a Scotsman, I'm pretty fair play. You're in the final. That's absolutely fine. It is what it is, but hopefully you get fucking battered tomorrow. Anyway, Viva la España. Sorry, guys. So the tent was packed. We came to watch you guys. Absolutely unbelievable. An absolute joy. The concept of it, though, where's the whole concept come from to do Tony Hawk's songs?
So, it kind of started with me, Harry, and our old guitarist. We wanted to do a cover band to try and earn a bit of money.
Nice.
We were a bit tired of doing original bands and getting paid nothing. So we kind of started learning just normal covers, and then we were like, well, literally everyone does this. This is going to be no different. This isn't new. And then just out of the blue, Harry came up with the idea to just cover the soundtrack, and just snowballed from there.
That's it. I mean, it's probably one of the greatest soundtracks ever.
Agreed.
So, but with set lists, then, do you struggle slightly because you're not limited, I'd say, but do you go to other games from Tony Hawk's games as well, or is it literally just the second one?
I mean,
It's all the games.
yeah, it's all
Is
the
it all-
games,
okay.
but the basis of the set is kind of off the first few. But like, yeah, we do bring songs in from like all the other games because there's
Beautiful.
just so many bangers to choose from.
There are. It's insane how many there
But
are.
like the first few were like the most iconic, so we choose like a lot of songs from the original like 4. But yeah,
I mean, you've also got the new games as well, obviously, which came out a couple of years ago.
Yes,
and,
yeah.
I mean, maybe even in the future we'll consider doing something like Skepta Shutdown. Big statement.
Yeah.
Big statement.
just give it a rest, Sam.
He's been in the.
Yeah, I'm new here.
His fucker's been in the band for like half an hour, and he's like, yeah, I don't know what the future holds, but it sure does look like Shutdown. Fucking hell.
And also, before I pass it back to my co-host, your Public Enemy track was fucking phenomenal.
yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Honestly, I really didn't want to do it, but the boys, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe a bit of stage fright or something, but yeah, the boys made me rap it, and yeah, it seemed to go down pretty well.
Nailed it. Smash
Thank you, appreciate it.
Every time. Every fucking time.
Question is, why did you pass it to this man? Why not do it yourself?
See,
Yeah, John.
yeah.
Please answer.
I'll,
You're back, mate. Don't worry.
yeah. So I do the rest of the set. So I need a little break. No, it's just people do love. They do love seeing the instrument changes and all that, and people just go primal when they see somebody from the band step up to do a hard song like that.
Yeah.
And with him smashing it like full on out of the park every time, it strengthens it. It's I'm never doing this song. I'm never doing this song. Yeah. I'm never doing that song either. Nah.
You're singing that one.
I might. Yeah.
It might happen.
There you are.
But as a podcast, we are ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you familiar with Sophie and her story?
Yes. Yeah.
So, so basically, we're asking people why we're here today. Have you guys ever been treated differently, had prejudice or stereotypes put against you, simply because the way you dress, the music you listen to, walk around with long hair, for example? Has that ever happened to you guys?
Yeah, I kind of guess like being at school and being a bit of a grebo.
I missed that word.
Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, I guess like same as probably most people listening to like metal music at school had like a little bit of like bullying or teasing, but it's kind of seemed to have got a lot better like since the stuff like with Sophie and obviously people trying to make a change against all that stuff. So yeah.
I have nothing to add. It's,
Yeah.
Same.
I guess I've always tried to just be my normal self, always throughout school as well, into my adulthood, and like just stuck to my roots, which is I like it. It's good.
Best thing to do. I love hearing people say, I had bullying and whatnot, but it didn't change me. I stayed who the hell I was, and fair play. But looking back at what happened back in 2007, then when you guys were growing up, do you think it's got easier for, especially kids today growing up, being part of this alternative community?
I think now there's a lot of music which is being discovered through platforms like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Reels and stuff like that. So you've got bands like Basement, alternative bands like Super Heaven, all kind of like popping off again through TikTok. So recently I've seen a lot of younger audience members coming to shows like that, going to Outbreak Festival, going to like the Dome in Tufnell Park in London to watch these kind of bands. So I think there is like a growth of young audience members within the alternative community through platforms like that.
I do reckon there's like there are two sides to the same coin, because with this stream of like information through social media and all that, it's way easier to find your place, just to find your community, find your family, find your friends and all that. But the other side of the coin is it's so easy to spew hate over someone. Just for, I don't know, posting a lip sync video of your favorite favorite My Chemical Romance song, you all of a sudden become the object of hate, like through some channels. So yeah, I think it's two sides, but I do applaud it, how easy it is for kids now to find their communities, their families and friends.
I think that's where the work needs to be. It's finding that middle ground, isn't it? Because you're right, like I kind of would have loved it if I could have just gone online and gone, fuck, this person knows me, they are me. Let's talk.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you say, there is also a lot of hate out there.
Yeah. People need to be able to be who they are.
Absolutely.
Like in every single way.
Absolutely. Gents, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. It means the absolute world. And honestly, you guys absolutely smashed it on Wednesday night. It was so much fun.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.